baby love, what you doing, what's the plan? Looking for a man, corny dating in Japan. Hey. Here we have a detailed anthology of a boy who caused pain and gives no apology. No matter the tale, the toll, the folly, the victim still ends up looking like a wally. So heed this tale, tragic stories of woe. Learn to forgive, love yourself, move on and let go. Hi guys, this is me at the end of the video. I'm just gonna put this at the start. This video is not gonna be a funny one. I mean, it may start off funny, but there's gonna be more triggering than my other toxic ex. I never thought I could ever meet anyone more toxic than my toxic ex, but clearly I can. This is gonna circle a lot around mental health and abuse. Kind of smile through it now because I'm in a much better space. I took a long time even debating to talk about it, but I decided to be brave and tell you guys because I don't want you to go through the same thing and suffer. I'll totally understand if you don't want to stay for the story. I'm boiling the kettle right now because I have some tea on the worst human being I've ever dated in my entire life. I don't know how long this is gonna take. Maybe outside is gonna be dark by the time we're finished. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna need a break in between. How did I meet this demon? My first boyfriend in Japan. I met him through Hello Talk. That's a language exchange app, and you can find people from around the world that want to learn your language and you want to learn their language, and you'll match on that. If you're attracted to foreigners, it's a good app to use for that also. Just use at your own detriment. You've been warned, okay? It can go left. And that's what happened with me. He was younger than me, in his early 20s. When I saw his picture, I was like, oh, he looks really cute. A good looking, handsome guy who was eager to learn English. This guy had just moved to Yokohama, started a new job, looking to make friends, looking to connect with people. And I was like, okay, cool, yeah, let's talk, let's hang out, let's spend time. Usually I try not to meet anywhere in my area unless I'm super busy, but I do want to like talk to this person. I will kind of make allowances. At that time, it was the summertime. When I saw this boy, my eyes were popping out my head. I was like, oh shit, if I had a type. If I had a type, it would be you. Tall, towering over me. He was built. When I say I like a built man, I've dated skinny men, taller men, shorter men. I've dated many kinds. I don't really have a preference. However, when I say aesthetic, he fit what I like. Backpack on. I think he's just been to the gym. Sir, you're trouble, absolute trouble, because when I look into his eyes, he seems kind of playful, happy-go-lucky kind of person. English, not the best, but confident. That's all I can say. We got something to drink and I decided to go to the park with him. So we just sit because at night time it's very nice and cool. I feel safe. We were talking and hanging out.
So I need the toilet.
I can go to a convenience store. I'm sure that they have toilets at one of them. I'm not sure.
I don't want to use the convenience store toilets. I don't want to use public toilets. Can I use your toilet?
The girl knows. All right, in my mind, I got two options. Okay, so he clearly wants to come to yours. He don't want to use the toilet. Okay, he's a man. He can freaking piss out in the street and it wouldn't be an issue. He wants to come to your apartment because he wants to have sex with you. Do I force him to go to the convenience store, or do I let him come to my apartment? Which one do you think I chose? Yes, 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 I let him come to my apartment. That's one of the biggest mistakes I ever made. You'll find out later. So he comes into my apartment.
Oh, it's really nice. I like the way you decorated.
Thank you very much. And he actually uses the toilet. Something to drink, we're there talking. Of course, this boy starts kissing me from head to toe. Yeah, I was very pleased in that department. He was beautiful. So we were hungry afterwards. Because you know how that goes. Like when you have a freaky old time, you get hungry sometimes. So we were hungry and he took me out to eat curry. I'm taking him back to the train station because he doesn't know where to go. Okay, so thanks for the curry. Thanks for meeting me. He's ready to go back home. He doesn't really know where he is. So I walk him back to the train station. Not even there at the station, right? And this boy bolts. He just starts sprinting, running for his life. And I'm like, looking around like, is someone chasing him? People are confused because I'm confused and they can see my reaction. And they can see him just running off into the distance, like towards the train station. What the fuck? So I start running a little bit as well. And then I kind of catch up to him, but not like I'm Usain bolting it after him. I can still see him through the other side. I'm like, bye.
Yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Usually you walk them to the gate and then you say goodbye. That was really odd. So when I messaged him, I was like, okay, I had a nice time with you, but What the hell was that?
Oh, I was gonna miss the train, so I started running because you were walking too slow.
I thought we were walking and talking. I didn't know like you were in a rush to catch the train. Man was running, was as if it was the last train. It wasn't. Train, hurry, go. Next time, just communicate that with me. Don't just start running off, because I'm gonna think, what the hell? Like, why is he trying to run away? That's just one instance, and I'm thinking, okay, that was really weird. I don't really understand why, but okay, I guess he was late, and I guess he's not used to communicating with foreigners because he doesn't have any foreigner friends. So I'm like, okay, I'll let it pass. Cool. I don't typically do one night stands. This never turned out to be a one night stand, and I wish it had of, actually. I really do. But we ended up seeing each other more frequently. I have to skip a lot because there is a lot, guys. I'm just gonna skip to the worst part. Like his wandering curiosity and his personality. He was actually kind of funny at times. Those were the endearing things, and obviously his looks was coming to mind a lot, and he was like, do you want to be in a relationship? Do you want to be my girlfriend? I'm like, okay, sure. Taekwondo. He enjoyed wrestling, a lot of rap music, and he was very much into foreigner rap, though he doesn't know what the hell people are saying at all, but he thought it was cool. He likes foreigner stuff, foreigner rap. And I think for me, I fit into that aesthetic of the rap hip hop world, you know, people who dominate that area, that genre of music are black people. So I feel like we are kind of categorized and stereotyped to be in that category, even though I'm a pop girly or R&B girly, a little bit of rap and hip hop, but it's not like my main genre. So it's funny how, you know, just because I've got the skin color, the skin tone, and parts of the culture that are associated with that because I'm black, it's just funny how it's like, okay, this is who you are. Do you like this, right? And I remember one time we went to Shimokitazawa for thrifting. It's like the cool thing. He was also very fashion conscious, so he wanted to do that on the cheap. So what's the best way to do? Thrift. So we went there. He was like slapping my ass. He loves my ass. It wasn't slapping it in a playful way. It was like, woof.
1, 2, 3, 1.
What is this guy doing? He's insane. It's like really hurting, and I was like, stop. But he couldn't. He saw the reaction that I'd give it, and he'd start slapping my ass like in public. Thankfully he stopped. He didn't do it the whole day. We got into one of the stores. It was like the typical hip hop stores, and they've got these stores like in Harajuku but also in Shimokitazawa where it's like hip hop. Like it fit into the box of rap. Like you couldn't like other things. Like this was the identity that fits in the box. It's really bizarre. Sometimes in Japan it's like you have to fit yourself into a box, into a certain stereotype. You can't be one thing and the other. You can't have this duality. It's not true for everybody. Obviously there are very unique people out there. However, I do feel that people like tend to go with whatever comes within that stereotype. It's like, okay, so now that I like this, I gotta like this too, and then I've also gotta like this. And for him it's like he was just trying to collect all the things and do all the things that stick within that category, which was really bizarre. I felt like I was like there for the image as well, like, oh, I'm cool, look, people are looking at us and you're the black girl on my arm and that's so cool kind of thing. It was pretty weird. He'd say negative stuff, so it's like, pick a lane. Which is it? Like, do you want me to be this black girl eye candy on your arm, or am I all these other things that you call me? There's a lot of t-shirts with rappers and stuff on them, and I remember there was one with Jay-Z.
Oh, it's Jay-Z. I like Jay-Z. He's cool, Jay-Z. Do you like Jay-Z?
Name me 3 songs that Jay-Z made. He named one. You want to buy a random t-shirt with rappers on? I was like, cringe. I remember one time he came to my apartment and he was pinching me like here and my stomach as well, and he's like,
what's this?
It's my stomach.
No, what's this? What's this?
It's fat.
Want to go to the gym?
I do go to the gym.
I can come with you. We can go together.
I've only just started to date this guy. Like, you want them to be healthy. I'm all for it if you're encouraging in a nice way. There's ways to be nice about things. I could never be pinching up somebody's body. I've had past relationships where they've enjoyed touching my fat. I don't know if that's a thing with guys. Please let me know, guys. So it hasn't been from a like harmful place, hurtful place. It's just literally they like my extra fat and like squeezing on it. I freaking hate it, so I tell them to stop. But I've had that before, but not in a like disrespectful way. It's like I literally like that. I like touching you. It's the way that he is, very negative. He probably wanted to help me, but he couldn't really verbalize that. We don't know each other yet, so I just felt like at the end of the day, you don't know me yet. You can't be telling me what to do, and you can't talk to me like that, pick me apart before we've even got to know each other properly. Yeah, we're in a relationship, but that doesn't give you a right to have control over my body, and I don't feel like you're coming from a place of love. The way that you spoke to me was not cool. So it's not even the message, the way it was delivered, basically, I did not like.
But I want you to train with me.
I'm like, I don't want to train with you. You can't tell me what to do. So they're already, like, we're at loggerheads. So you're gonna get some time frame. This was a while ago. I went to Hokkaido. Went there to commemorate my aunt, right, who had passed on. And the fact that she likes lavender, I went to this lavender field. If you haven't watched the vlog, watch the vlog. It's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful in Hokkaido, especially with all the flowers. And I sent him a picture showing him where I was.
Why are you there? There's nothing there.
Fuck, do you not like nature or beauty? Shit. Like, just putting a dampener, like raining on my parade. One of the reasons I'm here specifically is because my aunt who passed away really loved these kind of flowers, and it reminds me of her, so it's special to me, kind of thing. It's like a special moment.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be, like, disrespectful.
You shouldn't have been anyway. Why are you shitting on my parade? If you're training and you're working out hard, right, because which he loves to do and take pictures of himself, and he's like, do you like my muscles? And yeah, you're being healthy, you look good, I'm gonna hype him up. If it's something that he likes to do and enjoys, hype him up. If I want to go to nature and I see a pretty place, hype it up. You ain't gonna lie but say, oh yeah, that's pretty, I'm glad that you're enjoying yourself. No, there's nothing there. I'm thinking in my mind, this boy is so negative. It's not just that. At one point, we were still talking about the whole gym thing.
Are you eating a lot over there, piggy?
Oh my god. He knew that I did YouTube, and I don't know if he's watched any of my story times and if he can understand all of the English, but that word had me triggered, and I was like, don't call me piggy. And I think that's when it kind of became a thing for him. He just found it funny because of my reaction, because we were talking face to face and he's like, oh, you're like a little piggy. And I was like, no, don't say that. My toxic ex-boyfriend called me piggy, called me a pig before, not on a regular basis, but he only called me a pig one time, and I was like, do not call me piggy. That triggers me because I had a bad experience. I think you have some problems.
Well, yeah, I do have a few problems, but you're my piggy. You're a beautiful piggy to me.
I don't like the word, which was another red flag. I don't need somebody to be toxic and calling me pig. Like, who wants that from a boyfriend? So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm gonna have to break up with this guy when I see him face to face. I'm disappointed at myself because I can already see how this should have ended. I ended up buying him like some omiyage, and I was gonna give it to him before he said all that. And I was like, okay, you can come and take the omiyage. And I was thinking in my mind, like, this is where I'm gonna break up with him. So he came to my apartment after I came back from Hokkaido. I gave him his gifts and stuff, and he's really happy. I don't appreciate the way that you've been speaking to me. I don't like the feeling, so I think we should end things. Oh my god, he breaks down into tears.
My English is not good, so it's hard for me to communicate, and I have a lot of problems, like my past, my father abusing my sister and I, and he's no longer in the picture, and that's affected the way that I have relationships with people.
The way that he chooses to communicate with me, I think that you have to be a little bit like, not slow, but you are not used to social cues. And he told me how he got bullied. He was a firefighter in the past, and at his workplace he got bullied by people. And so he took up this new job here. He wanted to start again and escape the bullying and escape that really terrible environment. We just sat down and had a long talk, and I was like, the Pisces in me, I'm an idiot. I don't know to this day if it's even 100% true, but at that time it seemed very genuine in his hurt and pain, through his voice, through the way he was talking to me and like telling me like what he's been through. And I was like, oh my god, you've been through all that.
I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. I love you, Corny, and I'm sorry that I upset you. Don't break up with me, please.
After like spilling his heart out and begging me back and saying that he'll do better, I felt bad for him. I didn't want to be discriminatory. I do empathize with people to my own fault. You think you can save someone? I think this was definitely one of those cases where I thought, I can change him, I can fix him. You see that maybe you have some kind of issues, but I think if you care enough about me and love me the way that you say you do, then I think we can work through it. So we stayed together. Every weekend we'd see each other. He'd come to mine. We'd go places together, but it was none of this gentleman treating you lifestyle at all. But I understood that he'd only just started work and he was in his early 20s, so I didn't expect him to be like rich or anything like that. So I was trying to be more understanding of his financial like position. However, it doesn't take a lot of money to put thought behind things. You know, you could take me to a freaking cafe, but just planning it out and having that thought. One flower would have been good enough for me. I've had it happen before and it's very sweet. Now I appreciate the money and the thought. He apologized, said that he loved me and he cares about me.
But do you love me?
Well, it's a little bit early to say love. I don't love you yet. I need more time, but I'm happy that you feel that way. I'm taking everything with a grain of salt, but at the same time, I'm trying to be understanding. So we stay together. He does not stop calling me Piggy. He finds it funny because he likes to see my reaction, which is also another reason why I feel that he has autism. I'm not trying to diagnose him, but I did say that he should probably go to the doctors and get diagnosed. I've worked with a lot of special needs in the past, and I still do in Japan, and I feel like a lot of the traits did fall under the umbrella of autism, especially when it comes to how he reacts, doing certain things that aren't regarded as acceptable in public. No self-awareness, there's no awareness of his surroundings. The traits that I picked up from him, he fits within parts of the descriptions of autism. But he was also going to the hospital every weekend to receive medication and to talk to a psychologist. And the best way I can describe this boy is like kind of brutish, like rough around the edges, a bit like a caveman, like ugh, me strong, me man but not gentleman. There's a difference. He used to enjoy picking me up for some reason. I freaking hate it because in my mind, like, I'm always gonna be the large girl. When somebody tries to pick me up, I'm like, ah! For him, it was like a sign of his masculinity and strength. Come here, woman. And I'm just like, ah! He really liked my reactions. This is another thing to hang on to, put in your back pocket. I think he trains hard because he didn't want to be bullied, so that's the reason why he started training and getting muscular and stuff like that. And I think also a vanity thing, he wanted to look better for himself, which I'm all for. He has problems with like his eyes, and he said that his eyes might end up like becoming blind. He has a problem with impulsive itching, scratch his ass and try and touch my face. He found that funny. There's a whole heap of things that just I kept discovering about him. He showed me a picture of this random black girl.
Oh, I slept with her.
Am I not your girlfriend? Why are you showing me this random black girl? Like, the fuck? What the frick do you want from that? That's so twisted and weird. Or like maybe a pride thing, like, oh, I've been with foreigners before, like, you can trust me, or I don't know. It was just really weird. He said that he has some videos on his phone having sex with people. Like, you know what, I actually don't mind that too much. Just don't try and record me. So, for God's sake, this guy's a walking red flag, I'm telling you. But because he's got a lot of issues and he's working through things and he takes medication and he's battling, I thought I could be there for him. I wanted to be there for him just because he was very insistent about how he felt about me. So I was like, you know, I don't want to give up on someone so easily. When I say he's obsessed with me, it's not in a like a cute, endearing way. Whether I'm happy, I'm sad, and especially when I make an ugly face, he loves it. So he followed my social media before I blocked him on Instagram and stuff. He used to like grabbing a screenshot of my face, making the most horrible face ever. Sometimes it was cute, but sometimes it was like me going, like while I'm talking, and he'd screenshot that because he really liked my expressions, my facial expressions. He was like really attracted to it. It's so odd. And when I say this boy, I have to laugh because it's really weird, but he made a whole library dedicated to every face, all the faces that he enjoyed and liked watching me make. Odd. And I remember one time he made me cry. We met up in Yokohama station because he was going to his appointment. After he went to his appointment, he had his haircut, and he's very prideful that when he gets a fresh haircut, he wants me to see him looking his best. So he's very proud and he's like meeting up with me. And we're going to get kakigori, like shaved ice, because it's the summertime.
I was at the hairdresser, so sorry for being late.
Okay then, cool. When you're waiting, you have to sit on the seats. And in public, this is all happening. He ended up calling me an old hag, and I'm like, what is, just because I'm older than you, what is the reason for this violence? Nah. I got up and I walked away and went to the toilet. And then when I came back, he lost the position in the line. He wasn't there anymore. He was like standing to the side.
I thought you left, like you like went home.
I wouldn't just leave without saying anything. But I did kind of leave without saying anything. I went to the toilet, but he thought that I went home.
I thought you were gone, so I just decided to get up and I was gonna go home too.
No, you were being disrespectful to me. So I was upset and I needed a moment.
Oh, okay. You still want to get shaved ice?
You're not even sorry?
Well, I don't understand. You are an old hag.
You know when you think it's past someone just being mean? In his mind, it's a matter of fact. Forget how you feel. I can't really regulate how you feel. I'm just gonna speak my mind, even if it upsets you. And at that time when I was crying, he took a picture of my face. And I was like, what are you doing? Why are you taking a picture? That picture went into the library. You guys, it's crazy. After he took a picture of my face, he said,
no, I'm not leaving you. I want to be with you. I don't want us to break up. I'm sorry for upsetting you. Can I come back to yours with you?
When he gets through the door, like usually, he becomes very comfortable. He enjoys being pampered. When I get him a drink, he's very happy and relaxed, and he'll be on his phone. His favorite thing was yogurt, like my yogurt mix with muesli. Like I loved eating that, so he wanted to eat it too. And he said,
can you make yogurt for me?
This is the kind of guy that wants to be a princess. He wants to be pampered and taken care of. No, I'm the princess in the relationship. I am to be taken care of. I'll take care of you in a different way. I think because I was older than him, I think he's low-key hoping that I would become his sugar mama. Guys, for this dynamic, it's never gonna work, but these are things that I learn slowly down the line. Did I cook for him? I think I made a point not to, just because he didn't take me out to eat and stuff, so I was like, I'm gonna be paid. Anywho, he comes here and it's the weekend. I don't cook on the weekends. Let's go get food.
Okay, I want ramen.
Oh, we were eating ramen, right?
Corny,
What is it?
I love you.
Okay.
And I want to marry you. Will you marry me?
What? No. Are you serious right now?
Yeah, I want to marry you. I want to be with you forever. Will you marry me?
The audacity! You're gonna propose to me in a freaking ramen shop with no ring. No, I won't marry you. I said, if you're gonna ever propose to me, you need to make sure you're doing this, this, and this. And I listed off all the things that I want. If I'd have known you for years and we were deeply in love, maybe I would have been okay with a ramen place because I love you deeply and we've been together and I trust you and it's a good time. Not the same day that you've made me cry. No significance. We've never been here to this ramen place before and you just want to ask me to marry you. No idea what women want. I'm not gonna put up with that behavior where I don't feel secure and safe in my relationship. I would never get pregnant by a man who can't take care of me and deliver what he promised. And the fact that I would turn down his proposal, can't even take him seriously about that, but that just lets me know that he's not the man for me. I even asked him about his ex-girlfriend. Did you treat them the same way you treat me?
One time I went to Disneyland and I upset her. We got into a fight and upset her, but I had a really good time.
It can't be just me. This guy is creating havoc wherever he goes. Every relationship ruined. But one time we went to Tokyo Station and I wanted to film there and hang out around the area because it's pretty and it's a nice walk. I remember he said,
I don't want you to do YouTube. I don't want you to be filming now. It's our time.
I was like, I'd respect that if you weren't such a fucking dickhead. I think everyone's within their right to have their private time, but he was also acting as if I was filming constantly. I barely filmed when we were together, and when I did, it was just of the scenery, and I was like, well, you know, girls in Japan do this in general. They take pictures of their food, they take pictures of scenery, so what is the difference of filming for 3 seconds? And you know I enjoy vlogging. It's not like I'm doing it every single moment. Let me live.
Well, I don't want you to do it right now. You're with me now.
So he didn't like that, like the attention was off him.
I want you to delete videos with past dates like that. I don't want them on there. I don't want my face on there, but I don't want other guys on them.
You see the narcissism? Like, you're a fucking child. I'm like, I'm not doing that for you. And you haven't proven yourself. No. Went to a water fountain and he took some water and he spat it. He started laughing like he was being playful. That's not appropriate. Why are you spitting that in my face? I was trying to teach him how to be like a functioning member of society. That's what it felt like. I was really trying to help him. So there's just been instances of him like trying to control stuff. I remember one time he was at my apartment. We got into an argument and he grabbed my face like this.
Look at me. You need to study Japanese if you want to be with me.
If I'm gonna be with somebody Japanese, fair enough. Valid point, but why the aggression? And in his eyes, he looked freaking crazy. And I feel like a lot of that anger that he had was from his dad. If the story is true, that I could see that connection. I'm back. I needed to freshen up. Like, I have literally had the first ever nightmare, I think, about an ex in a long time. And I think he's just done that much damage to me mentally that I feel like I really needed to take the time to be with myself and reason with myself that I can't save people. That's usually not my character, to be like, oh, I can change him, I can save him. It's just for him. I don't know. I think I saw deep-rooted issues and vulnerability. I could see him like battling himself, and the fact that he couldn't function for basic things or see my side of things. I was like, you must be really in a tough spot within your mind for you to be struggling over something that's kind of easy. So whenever like thought about walking away, and leaving him, he would get very upset and that he knows it's hard for me, but he just wants to try. He doesn't want to lose me. He's got no social cues. So say if I'm like annoying, just chilling, he might just impulsively like want to wrestle with me, because I think he likes the size that I am. Like I'm slightly larger than the average Japanese girl, so to him it like symbolizes power and strength. He thinks that I'm really super strong. Maybe I am compared to the average girl, I don't know, but for him in his mind he was like, oh, this is somebody that I can play fight with, even though I don't play fight, I don't wrestle. But he'd have me like in a freaking headlock and put me into different positions for fun, and I was like, I don't do this stuff.
But I like wrestling. I want to wrestle with you because you're really strong. You've got thick thighs, like you built for this.
Did as he pleased. I had enough, and he got me into the headlock and I was like, enough. He wouldn't let go, and it was like a chokehold, and I was like, let me go, and he wouldn't, and then I screamed. I remember like tussling with him to break free. I was giving him what he wanted, which was my emotion. Very toxic. He wanted my reaction. You could see in his eyes he was getting excited, but he was kind of scared because he'd never heard me scream before. It's getting to this point where I feel like I'm in danger, and that is freaking scary to me. I've seen it happen to other people, and I was like, I refuse to be a victim. There's this guy who claims to love me, but he could ever put his hands on me. I was like, oh my God. If I was ever to remain with this guy, whether we got married or not, we'd be trapped in hell, going through this cycle of him not understanding me, him not listening to me, him making me feel like shit, but also have this weird, crazy obsession with me. End up hurting each other, and not even emotionally, I mean like physically. It might come to blows where one of us is gonna end up in freaking prison, and it ain't gonna be me. It's a crazy thought to think, and I was like, I can't be with you anymore, I'm sorry. I've tried, I've been really good to you, I've been very patient with you. I didn't want to give up on you because I was really trying hard to see the goodness in him. I don't think he's a terrible person, I just think he's a troubled person that needs a lot of therapy and a lot of help, and it's not my job to do that. I don't have the capacity to do that. I don't have the tools. I am not a therapist. I almost became one, but I realized that I'm too emotional and I'm too empathetic, and I will take other people's shit on my shoulders, and it will affect me to the point that like I will not be mentally stable. Whether it's friendships or relationships, everybody goes through shit, but I think I have a certain threshold. I was kind of mirroring him and becoming toxic as well, and becoming like just horrible like towards him, and he was being horrible towards me, and I was doing it out of spite to get back at him, like, this is how you treat me, so I'm gonna treat you the same and see how you like it. And obviously he didn't like it, but would he change? He said he would, but he never did. So it's like, I need to break out of this cycle. I don't want to go round and round with you. We need to break up. You just can't make me happy. Tears are flowing.
No, I don't want you to go. I don't want you to leave. You can't. I'll never let you leave. I'll never let you go. You are mine. You're my girlfriend.
What the f? Not yours, and I am not your girlfriend, and we are not together. You do not own me.
I know where you live. I know where you live.
If you come back here, see what happens. I know a cop. I will call the police. Do not come back to my apartment. You need to go.
Can I have a hug? I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean, I don't want to.
I was just really drained. You ever come to a point where you're just like, just go away? Because I was there like fighting for my life, trying to break free from his headlock. And then he's got me against the wall because he doesn't want me to go. Even he doesn't want to leave, but he's got me like pinned against the wall. And I'm like, I need you to get out of my face. Just leave me alone. And I'm screaming. It was terrible. It was horrible. It's just a shame. Like, I think I was very disappointed and almost ashamed of myself. Like, a repeat of such a negative influence in my life. Worst relationship I've ever had in my life. And the funny thing is, I had the best relationship just before him. So to go from this to rock bottom, I see little glimpses of like cute, sweet behavior, but then he'd like snap back into this, like this devil, this demon would just come out of him and he'd just be horrible again. I'm like, I'm trying to find that person that I've seen before, and I'm like digging deep to try and get there, but every time it's like the demon's winning. And I couldn't keep doing it. I couldn't keep fighting to get that person back. I became exhausted. I was like, you just need to go. We can't be together anymore. He tried to message me and I cut him off. I blocked him and everything. But I think just a lot of it was about control. But let me just get my laptop here. Narcissistic traits to look out for in a partner. You get the silent treatment. We went thrifting and that's one of his favorite things, and we went to Yokohama and I was like following around to different stores and like helping him pick out stuff. He loved that. He loved all the attention on him. He loved dressing up and saying, what do you think about that? And that was like one of the sweetest days. He was like the sweetest to me ever that day. So it's always like, give me and then I'll be nice to you.
You gonna buy me some shoes?
No. You don't deserve any shoes. You haven't been nice to me.
If you buy us some shoes, I'll have sex with you.
You don't even make me cut like it's a bargaining chip. You need to be buying me things so you can have this because I know you want it. Clearly you're obsessed. When I say this boy took off and started walking ahead of me, he wasn't holding my hand or anything. You know what? I'm going. And I didn't say goodbye to him. I just walked in the opposite direction and went home. I just left him. Had enough. I didn't speak to him, but he came to my door. I'm like, what are you doing here? You didn't even call me on the thing.
I wanted to see you, I missed you.
You're the one that was walking ahead saying nothing to me. And you were upset because I wouldn't buy you shoes. And you want to behave like that, like give me the cold shoulder. You walk on eggshells. It just took, no, I don't want to do this, for him to be upset with me, annoyed at me, and walk on eggshells with him. They lose their charm behind closed doors. I can't really say that's him. He had no regulation. Outside, he was just as mean as he was inside. Constantly criticized, like I said, my weight. When I'm listening to him, like, or I'm in disgust or shock about something he said, my mouth will open like this. He hated that. Not speaking Japanese well. It was always something. They've cheated. I didn't really check his phone to have concrete evidence. They break promises. He were reliable. He never planned anything. He just popped up when he felt like it. A grandiose sense of self-importance. Well, yeah, because he always put himself first. Didn't care about me. Thought he was the hot shit, but clearly insecure. Frequent fantasies about having or deserving. I mean, he wanted me to buy him stuff all the time. He wanted to be a princess. I'm a princess. We can't both be princesses, honey. One of us is, one of us isn't. There's a difference. Belief in superiority. He did talk down to me a lot. Biting against my will. I know that's some people's like sexual kink, and I'm not trying to yuck your yum, but for me, he's kind of a person who would use that as like a dominating control thing, and he would get pleasure from me squealing and being in pain. So it's very sadistic. When you're being intimate with a partner, there needs to be trust and safety that goes into being intimate. He turned biting into something that was kind of triggering for me. Also, like the wrestling thing, I couldn't have anybody doing that shit to me against my will. It's all against my will, and I don't really want to call it the R word, but I'd say we were borderline. He would enjoy that. I've heard somebody else say this before, but there's this culture thing where if you say no, it's like a turn on. Like, it's kind of like a playful thing, like, no, don't do this. But the thing is, the way that I was saying it was literally no. He couldn't tell that I was being dead serious. He still got off on like the shock. I think that was a mixture between him being sadistic and also his autism, but then also the Japanese culture of like our play. I'm not gonna lie, it's like saying no, but yes, you want it. And I don't really like blurring those lines. You know, I think you have to have great communication to be able to do those kind of things. If you want to role play, it needs to be discussed within depth. It can be very triggering and damaging. And he didn't do that in the correct way. He just forcefully and happily, you know, took from me. So I'm not going to say it was R, but it was very close to it at times because of me saying, no, don't do that, I don't like this. So yeah, that falls into that. Need for admiration. Boy was in the mirror flexing all the time. You know, my tall mirror, he loved that mirror. His muscles, checking his body out, and then he's like, what do you think? Think I look sexy? He likes to be worshipped and admired. Yes, so that's him. Entitlement. Yeah, he thinks he deserved me to take care of him. He wanted me to be his sugar mama deep down. He didn't say it, but his actions definitely showed it. Willingness to exploit others.
I don't get on well with my mother. My father's not here anymore, and my sister's really sick, so my mom stays in the hospital a lot.
I didn't actually know whether to trust him on what was the truth. It's because it seemed like also he's told a lot of small lies here and there for no reason. At one point when he was talking about his sister and he saw me like feeling emotion for him, he started to smile like, got you, bitch. His mask slipped for a moment. I feel like I can't really know what was true and what was real with him, so take this all very loosely, because like even still I don't know what's true and real, but I don't believe his sister was in hospital. We were FaceTiming at one point when he went to see his mom, and he was like play fighting with his sister. Look, if she was sick in the hospital, hallelujah, it's a miracle, she's back to normal full health, because she seemed absolutely fine. He probably forgot that he told me these lies. But yeah, there's just been different instances of little things happening, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't feel right. But he's like remorseful, but then I'm like, is it real remorse, or is he trying to manipulate me again? And it's like, oh, are you just really that effed up because of what you've been through? Or have you really been through this stuff? And I was just thinking, this is too much thought. This is too much effort and energy and thought going behind this. If I'm with anyone, I want to believe them. I want to know who they truly are. And for him, I still don't think I know who he is. Lack of empathy. Oh yeah, when I'm crying, he's there taking pictures of me instead of hugging me and saying I'm sorry. Frequent envy. He did not like when I got attention on YouTube.
You're posting on YouTube and you're posting on Instagram. You think you're so popular.
I'm literally a micro content creator. Our community is so sweet and small. Like, hello, why are you jealous of? I mean, some girls are very fickle here. They just look at his hot body and like his face and stuff and be like, you're totally hot. He could get followers, and if he can speak English too, oh yeah, he could do what I did, definitely. But anyways, yes, with him, like, I tried to set boundaries. He didn't really listen, like, don't call me this, don't do that. It just went over his head. He's like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Whether I like to admit it or not, it did damage me to a certain degree, you know. And if somebody's constantly berating you every single day or every moment that you meet, whether you want to accept it or not, it does affect you. No, I am worthy, I'm deserving, I'm beautiful, and I need to get the hell out, you know. Create a healthy distance. And that was the final point of dealing with a narcissist. Don't. Don't put up with them. Get the frick out. Run. He definitely gave me more anxiety about certain things. I did become depressed because of him. I had a lot of stress when he was around. Tried to be his friend and tried to like be there for him, but obviously he was still attracted to me. Even though he'd like berate me and make me feel like I wasn't good enough. I think it was like he liked the control that he had over me, and he didn't want to see anybody else have me, kind of thing. But when he had me and had my attention, he'd never treat me the way that I deserved. It's not my job to be that person to teach him how to do things. There's hopefully someone out there that he'll treat better, I don't know, that will be good for him and a light for him that he won't try and dim. Because for me, like, I was constantly a light, and he was just draining me of my energy and literally sucked the happiness out of my life. By the end of it, I felt like exhausted. The biggest definition of a narcissist and emotional vampire that I've ever had. Thank you to my friends that were just supportive and really sat there and listened and, you know, gave their advice and 2 cents. And I'm sorry that happened to you. You know, instead of judging me, questioning me and my bad choices too harshly, I was just trying to be understanding to the point that it just was really hurting me. Lots of time has passed, so I'm cool now. But I will mention him in the next story time that will link to this one. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. Let's be supportive and kind to each other and be understanding and just share and vent, man, because like this is what my story times are, me venting and letting you know like the kinds of people that you could encounter here in Japan, and nothing is as it seems. It's not perfect. That's the main message I want to get to you. Humans are humans. I keep telling you this, guys, so this is just another story. Look to the support of your friends. If you're feeling alone and isolated with this one person, call a helpline and get the support to get out. You don't deserve that. I think going through this situation, I became even stronger. Anything that was similar to him, see ya. Even though we broke up, more stuff happens and it kind of crosses over into somebody else. So I'm gonna leave it here and say we broke up. Yay!